very attached, very territorial, instant connection with more so towards Max than Ginny. It reminds me very much of when an extrovert adopts an introvert. Hey guys, it's Sierra. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be about Ginny and Georgia, specifically about Max's story. So I'm just going to give a brief summary and then we're going to dive into the different parts that I have. I'm looking now because I have my notes here, like I actually have bullet points of how this video is going to go. Anyway, starting off with the summary, Ginny and Georgia is about Ginny and Georgia, but also Austin, really, parentheses Austin. So Georgia is a 30-something-year-old mom who gave birth to Ginny when she was 15, and they've had a very interesting life. A lot of moving around, a lot of different guys in and out of Georgia's life, in and out of the kids' lives, and now they're living in Wellsbury, and things are very interesting as they move to this new town. They're really trying to solidify a permanent home for them after the passing of Georgia's recent ex-husband. You'll find out. If you never watched the show, watch it, because I swear Georgia's storyline and everything that has occurred around her or because of her, you're gonna be truly fascinated. I'm just gonna be honest about that. But as they're in Wellsbury, Ginny is in high school. She's a sophomore, so she's really navigating what it's like to finally be in a place and settled, trying to make friends, dating really, because she's never had done that before. Georgia's trying to really just give the life to her children the best that she can possible. Austin's in elementary school. I think he's probably like in 3rd grade. The actor's just tall in season 3, so I'm just gonna let y'all know now. That threw me off too. I was like, he's still in elementary school? But yeah, it's really just them navigating life in Wellsbury and different things that they've never experienced before, and kind of like Georgia's past comes back to haunt her type of thing. But going into the next segment, which is MANG. MANG is Max, Abby, Nora, and Ginny. This is the friend group. These are Ginny's friends that she makes within the first season, and this group of friends is very interesting. The first 3, so Max, Abby, and Nora, they've been friends since they were children, and Ginny kind of comes in and Max becomes very interested in her and very attached to her. And at first, Nora and Abby are like, girl, like, you just added somebody in our friendship group for what? And she's new, we don't know her type of thing. So there's like a little bit of kind of like an initiation, because you know how teenage girls are. They're very messy. They're very territorial. So that happened for a little bit when it came to having Ginny part of the group. But over time, they actually start to create a pretty interesting friendship with each other. I will tell you this, teenage girls are a mess. Again, teenage girls are a mess. Just gonna put that out there. So no friendship is perfect, especially for teenagers, and especially for this generation. It's very messy. So let's start off with Max's friendships with each of the girls. So first, Max and Abby. They have a very interesting relationship. Max is very bubbly, out there. She can be a little bit over the top, very emotional, and Abby's very much the opposite. So Abby a lot of times feels as if Max is doing too much, her emotions are too much, and Abby is not afraid to tell her that. And Abby is very quiet, reserved, but she's also very snarky. So she's going through her own battles within her body image and her life. So it's a very much like their relationship is very much like ping pong back and forth. It's like there's always something going on between them in terms of like how they feel towards the other when it comes to their emotional state, how they communicate, maybe the things that they say. It's very back and forth. Now Max and Nora are a little bit closer, I would say, because Nora has no say-so. Nora's very much like, she just sits on the fence, and whoever is calling her name the loudest, that's who she's gonna go to. I feel like that's just Nora as a person. Not much to say about her really. She is going through her own medical situation throughout the show. She's the only one in the group that has a boyfriend within the first season. I think they've been together for like 2 years or something like that. So Nora's very different with that. And then there's Max and Ginny. Like I said, Max latched onto Ginny very early on, very, very attached, very territorial. instant connection with, more so towards Max than Ginny. It reminds me very much of when an extrovert adopts an introvert. That's very much what their relationship is like. So jump to season 3. So season 3, the friendship, the friendship group is very interesting. But more so on Max's side, because now in the first season, it was more so of getting Ginny to be part of the group and how ostracized as she felt at the beginning, feeling different from her upbringing to just different issues going on, because Ginny is half Black, so there's a lot of different things that she deals with that the other girls don't really deal with. Like when they're going to the I think it was like the sophomore sleepover, they're getting their hair done in high ponytails, and Ginny can't, because you know, when you got a Black parent, your hair texture is a little bit different. So she already automatically feels different and left out because of that. So now she feels like it's just that she knows that she's different, but it becomes very apparent in that moment when the hairstylist can't even freaking comb or brush her hair. Very uncomfortable in that part. And then second season, but also still part of the first season, it feels like Abby's more on the outs too. What's the second season? I remember second season. Abby's a little bit more on the outs with what she's going through. Everyone is like just not texting her and not communicating with her, but it's more so of just like everybody else going through their own different stuff and not being as attentive to their other friends. So it's very much like kind of self-centered, but that's how teenagers are. Like everything is about their world and what they're experiencing, which is completely normal. That's literally a part of development as a human being. Like it's actually scientifically proven. Like these are the stages that we go through. But anyway, and then with season 3 though, Max is on the outskirts. In the second season, Max didn't talk to Abby and Ginny because of a situation. So Nora was with Max all the time, but now in season 3, Max is on the outskirts. And I feel like with this, it's because more so of her taking more to heart what Abby has said before of her emotions being too much, or feeling as if like she's like, it's like her grip on her friendships is slipping. So for Max in this season, she's very much on the outskirts, not because of like anything that she's done, but because of who she is, which is completely different versus like season 2, where everybody had everything else going on. And in season 1, it was more so people not getting to know Ginny at first because she's the new girl. It had nothing to do with actually Ginny as a person. It was more so just, a new person. So used to your clique, and you get somebody new, you're like, oh my God, are we boxing or are we friends? Like it's very territorial that way. But with this season, it's very much like it targets Max's personality, and that's what hit me too with this season, and really just made me make this video. But also I wrote an article on Substack a little bit more about Max's storyline. But really season 3 is just Max is becoming more recluse. She's isolated a lot of the time now. And then with Marcus going through what he's going through, Max feels like as if she can't speak up or say anything about anything whatsoever. So she keeps a lot of it. Everything is very internalized. And then when she does try to connect with the girls, they're very much like giddy and chatting, like, oh my God, we did this, blah, 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 or whatever. And she's just like sitting there like, oh, I didn't know, like, you guys don't text me. But she's trying not to get as emotional as she's done before, to the point of like not speaking to Ginny or yelling or anything like that. She's very much like trying to control herself, and everyone else still finds it just not even disturbing, but very triggering. Even if she has just like a bout of like, oh, well, you didn't tell me. They're like, well, because you're very emotional. It's like, they didn't say exactly that, but it gives very much that. And she's trying to like hold herself back from reacting in a certain way so her friends don't, I guess, like attack her and jump on her for her emotions. But she's really navigating a lot of this on her own. Everyone else is like pretty much going through life while she's just trying to mold herself to fit into the group, but as someone else. So it's not really her. Jumping to episode 9. Episode 9 was a very interesting episode. I love that it was through Max's POV, because throughout the season, Max at first at the beginning was very nervous when it came to reaching out to Ginny because of the case, because of everything going on. She wants to be there for her. It's just more of a struggle on how to be there for her. But then as she finally starts to like talk to Ginny and reach out to her, she gets everybody else on board. She's like, no, we need to be there for her. We need to support her. Nora's, whatever. Well, we won't talk about Nora. But Max is trying very hard to be there for Ginny in the way that Ginny needs help. So it's like as if, because there's certain things that Ginny doesn't want to talk about, obviously, because she's keeping her own things inside. But it's more so now of Max trying to stay on that thin line of rope and not to trigger anyone really, especially Ginny, when it comes to what she says and what she does. So she's like trying to be supportive, but not trying to be overly supportive. She's not trying to be overbearing. Like she's trying to find that fine line, and Ginny's completely all the way over there, like not even worried about her type of thing. So I feel like a lot of it is the internal monologue of Max, especially in this episode. You see some OCD tendencies and a lot of just like overthinking throughout this episode when it comes to not only trying to communicate with Ginny, the friend group, trying to focus on the play, dealing with Silver, which by the way, I do not like Silver. Dealing with Silver, dealing with Marcus and Silver, because Silver is basically enabling Marcus. And Silver doesn't want to acknowledge that. She's being very nonchalant and it's pissing me off. Like, and I feel that for Max, because she is struggling to find anything to have a sense of normalcy, but also trying to find the balance and being able to communicate with people without becoming too emotional for them. And even if she just gets a little emotional, everybody just like backs off. It's like, what do y'all want? she's allowed to feel some passion towards it, because this is a lot going on and it's a lot for one person to deal with. You see her like switching the light on and off. That's an OCD tendency, and like just not feeling right when it comes to like leaving the room. She was like, wait, no, is it done yet type of thing? Like, okay, no. And then she decides to go downstairs to study. She forgets to take out the chicken for her mom. And her mom just sees it as like, oh my God, my forgetful child. But no one really knows that this is what's going on in Max's head the entire time. And then with the end of this season, I won't give it away, but Max is literally in a house by herself, essentially. Like, she is her own person now. She has no one supporting her whatsoever, and feels as if everything is her fault. Everything that's wrong is her fault. It's a lot. So my predictions, I think in season 4, we're going to see Max, like within like the first few episodes, we're going to see Max very, very, very little. And if we do see her, she's going to be her scenes are going to be in the house by herself. Depending on if Marcus returns at the beginning of the season or whatever, I'm not sure like how that's gonna work out. But I feel like Max might attempt. I don't think she will succeed, but there's gonna be an attempt. And then I feel like maybe some of the girls will hear about it. And at first, they're probably not gonna react, especially Abby. Abby's gonna be the first one to say like, oh, she's just doing this because she wants some attention or whatever, and everyone's gonna follow suit. They're messy. So I feel like that's gonna be a part of it, and then it's gonna get to the point where either Max snaps or Max doesn't go to school like how Marcus wasn't going to school. And it might take literally someone on the outside of the group to notice. Maybe Braysha. There we go. Maybe Braysha notices it. Everyone else is very much in their own world, and Braysha's probably gonna get them to snap their, like, get their ish back together. Like, that's your whole friend, and y'all just leaving her in the dust like that. That's just rude. Like, she's gonna, I feel like Braysha's gonna get on Ginny about that. She's gonna get on Abby about that. Nora, I feel like they're probably just gonna be like, Nora, either you care or you don't. Because clearly it feels like Nora is so nonchalant and very wish-washy that it feels like no one's actually friends with Nora. Nora's just like floats through wherever she feels like she wants to be for the day or whatever. But that might be some part of it. I feel like Braysha will kind of like be the one to notice what's going on with Max. So jumping to my next section, which is Max and Ginny. I covered this more in detail on my Substack article, but I just want to sum it up really. Max and Ginny are very much mirrors of each other, because Ginny was experiencing this in the first season. She didn't know how to become part of a friend group. She was really struggling with her identity, and just really just trying to find her place in the school and find her place in the friend group, and just becoming part of Wellsbury. And now with Max, it's very much like she's losing her place in her friend group. She's trying to find where she fits in, and then where she does try to fit herself in, it's still too small of a spot for her. And then if she just even tries to like expand the box a little bit further, they're like, oh my God, and people freak out. So it's very much like they're mirrors of each other. They're both navigating the space of, am I too much? Am I too little? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? What should I be doing? What should I be saying? How to react, how to not react, type of thing. They're very much mirrors of each other from season 1 and now. Season 2, that's where they clash, but I feel like it's kind of like, in a way, they destiny swapped without destiny swapping. Because now Jenny's more part of the group and she's more extroverted. She's going to poetry classes and she's like, you know, doing all the stuff now. And becoming more like her mother too, but I feel like they're also mirrors of each other. It's very weird how that's kind of navigated. How they very much like switch places and navigated within the past from the first and third season, how quickly that shifted for them. So what do you think of this season? How was Max's previous encounters with the girls altered? What did I write? How has Max's previous encounters with the girls altered their perception of her in this season? Do you think a person could ever be too much, like too much emotionally? Just let me know in the comments below. But that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, be sure to like it, comment below, and answer to one of the questions. I'll also put those in the description box below. If I'm rambling too much and you did not understand anything I said, those will be in the description box below. So yeah, stay magical.